The breakdown angel, an elderly woman, parked her car in a side parking lot on a busy highway, waiting for someone to help her. She waved her hand in front of the pile of cars going at full speed, but no one stopped. Evening began to fall. After failing to get anyone's attention, she felt disappointed and came back and sat in her car. At the same time, an old car suddenly stopped behind hers. Out of it came a very poor African man. The sight of him got her scared. Black men often prey on such lonely women. The lady was well aware of it, which is why she was even more afraid. That man walked to her. He looked at her and said, "Do not be afraid. I am here to help you." Seeing you here alone, I understood that there must be some problem with your car. My name is Brian. Brian's calm and friendly voice dispelled the old lady's fear, and she found him to be good. She then told Brian that the front tire of her car was flat. Brian took the tire opener out of his trunk and started changing the wheel. The old woman's fear had completely disappeared by now. She said, "Brother, how can I thank you?" When he heard this, Brian replied, "Ma'am, it is our duty to help those in trouble, and that is what I am doing." After a few minutes, the lady asked Brian, "Brother, how do you make a living?" "I am totally useless," Brian said. "I have had no work for the last 2 months." After saying that, he started moving towards his car. Suddenly, the old lady got out of her car and walked to him. She took out a few dollars from her wallet and began to give them to Brian. Brian, however, refused to accept it. He mentioned to her that if she met any unhappy person, she should help that person. Just before he departed, the old lady got information about nearby restaurants from Brian. She was a bit hungry by now. The woman was inspired by Brian's amazing nature. After a few minutes, she reached the restaurant he had recommended. The old woman saw a waitress was standing to take her order. She quickly went through the menu card and placed an order. Just then, she noticed that the woman standing next to her was pregnant, and perhaps this was her last month before delivery. She was working even in the last month of pregnancy. The old woman felt that the financial condition of the waitress could be in bad shape. In a few minutes, the dish that she had ordered had arrived on her table. After finishing her dinner, the old lady asked for the bill. Even though the bill was only a few dollars, she put $100 note in the cover. As soon as the waitress went to get back the change, the old woman left from the restaurant. She wasn't to be found when the waitress came back with money to be returned. She was surprised to notice that the plate on the table had another $100 note. A paper napkin was lying beside it, on which was written, "Dear, all this money is your tip. You don't have to return anything to me." Someone helped me selflessly when I was in trouble a few hours ago. This waitress was due to deliver a baby in just 15 days. She felt as though God sent help to buy all the necessary things for the coming baby. After finishing the evening's walk, the waitress went home. The whole incident seemed like a miracle to her. On the other hand, she noticed that her husband Brian was looking worried. She held Brian's hand and said to him, "Everything will be fine. You don't have to worry. God has arranged money for us."